Hello and welcome back to another Minecraft Redstone tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to build a machine that will make the very mobs quiver in your presence. Yes, this machine summons a whole Frost Legion at your disposal. Now, the very important note is that you'll want to build this in an area in which snowmen can leave behind a snow trail. This is a necessity for one of the machines, and yeah, sure, you can build the pumpkin farm outside of a snowy region. However, I'm guessing you don't want to travel miles just to finish off your Frost Legion. So, let's get onto it. What you see before you here is the pumpkin farm. It's quite a neat contraption, as you can see. The entire build fits into a 8 by 6 by 12 block area. And the idea is simple. Pumpkins will spawn and the pistons will break them. And underneath you'll see a minecart hopper collecting the pumpkins as it goes along. Once it reaches the end of the track, it will then deposit them into a chest, which, as you can see, the minecart stops and then drops them in. Now, feast your eyes on these. 42 rails, 8 redstone torches, 10 powered rails, a minecart with a hopper, 2 hoppers, 24 observers and 24 pistons. As well as cobblestone stairs, these can be stairs of any type but I'm using cobblestone, and a water bucket. You'll also need 48 dirt, a chest of course to store the pumpkins in, 1 redstone comparator, a repeater, 24 redstone dust, and then a glowstone block. It can be any light source block, and of course a wooden hoe in order to, well, till the dirt, as well as blocks that you'll use to build with. Now, let's get into it. Now, what you'll want to do is find yourself a 7 by 7 area, like I have here. And, well, what we're going to do in this area is build a platform. I mean, this isn't necessary, but I'm just going to do it so it's easier for you to see what I'm doing overall. So first we're going to build 7 blocks out like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that will form a 7 by 7 square. Fill it in, and then we'll move on to placing the tracks. So, firstly we'll want to go to one of the corners and place a block here, break the block beneath it. There we'll place a redstone torch. Now, on the block adjacent to it and above, place a powered rail and then connect it using normal rails. Now, this middle section here, we're also going to run a line of powered rails down it, but not after creating this sort of weaving pattern, like so. We're just going to go back and forth and back and forth. Nicely done. Well done. Now, well, we're going to build storage here, but firstly, these powered rails aren't really, well, powered, so that's what we're going to do next. Dig down 2 blocks and then break a line along to the other side until you reach it, and there. Now we're going to place a ton of redstone torches to power the rails. Bing, bang, boom, bing, bosh. Nice. Next, we're going to create the storage part of this. So, what you want to firstly do is break these blocks here, these 4, and place 2 chests here. Then, crouch, and make sure you crouch when doing so. Place 2 hoppers feeding into that chest. Next, we're going to place 2 powered rails, make sure to crouch again. And now we're going to break this 2 by 3 area, clearing 6 blocks in total. Place this sort of Y pattern that I'm making here, and then on the underside of this right hand side of the Y, we're going to place a redstone torch. Then, in the middle of the Y, we're going to place a redstone repeater. Make sure the 2 prongs are facing left. And then lastly, we're going to place a redstone comparator, making sure that the 2 prongs are at the back and the red dot is at the front, like so. Now let's test our contraption. First, set the minecart with the hopper going. As you can see, it reaches the other side and then bounces back. Now, let's give it something to deposit. Let's say pumpkins, seeing as that's what this farm's for. We're going to drop them in front of it, and now the hopper should stop. Lovely. As you can see, it's depositing them as it should. And when we take them out, it should set the hopper off and running again. Lovely. Next, we're going to create the redstone aspect of this. First, let's start by building 3 blocks up from here. And what we're going to do from this is place pistons and observers in an alternating pattern. How we're going to do this is on the floor, we're going to place the pistons facing down into us. Now, if you try to do the same with the observer, it'll face the wrong way. So, you're going to want to get up on top of the piston, and then place it like so. Bingo. Now what we're going to do is just follow this pattern through, sort of forming this redstone checkerboard pattern, which looks kind of cool. Just follow the pattern round. Now, once we get to the middle, we're going to leave a gap. This is, well, just a gap. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, once you've done that, comes the exhilarating job of placing down cobblestone. Now the pistons are just asking for it. Look at that similar texture. On top of every piston, place down cobblestone, forming this half-hollow checkerboard, where the white or the black are, well, empty or full. Anyway, I'm overcomplicating it. After this, you'll want to place redstone in every single gap, or on top of every observer. Same thing. Now what you want to do is fill in this hole. I don't even think it's necessary, but I did it anyway because it looks cool. Now, as you can see, when the observer detects something, the pistons around it fire. This is the mechanism that will break the pumpkins. Now, let's get down to farming. What you'll want for this is the dirt, the stairs, the water and the herb. We're going to build a 7x7 square again, but this time in the middle we're going to leave a gap. Now once you've done that, you'll probably want to get inside to place the stairs, as if you try to place it from outside, well, you can't get the right angle. So I'm going to use a trapdoor to get inside, which also comes in handy when you're tilling the ground into farmland. Once inside, we're going to place the stairs. Make sure to place the stairs and then the water, as you don't want it destroying the track and all your hard labours. What we're going to do now is turn the dirt into farmland underneath every observer, creating a farmland checkerboard. Yeah, I'm sure you're probably tired and you'll never want to play chess after this ever again. All done. Now what you want to do is use the pumpkin seeds in order to grow a pumpkin. Once you've grown one, you can get 4 back from that. Once you grow another, well, another 4. Basically all you need is 1 pumpkin seeds to start this reaction. just place it down in every farm block. Now, once we get to the middle, we're going to place the light source block. You can place down anything with the equivalent light source of glowstone, but, I mean, glowstone's cool, so use it. Now, it's done. Feel free to use bone meal to speed up the growth. As we can see, it just grew a pumpkin there, and the minecart hopper will collect it, and then deposit it into the chest, like shown before. Now, time to show you how to build the snow farm. For the snow block farm, these are the required resources. 2 observers, 1 sticky piston, 1 crafter, for the snow blocks, 5 hoppers to carry the snow blocks into the crafter, a minecart with a hopper, 7 rails, 1 powered rail, 2 levers, and a chest for storage, as well as 8 redstone dust. And let's not forget the 2 blocks, and the pumpkin to make the snow golem. You can also use any blocks, but preferably not any infested blocks, as they, well, suck for building absolutely everything. Now, let's get on to building the farm. Firstly, what you'll want to do is test whether your biome can actually support snow. As you can see, this snowman has just placed down a little snow carpet, meaning that the biome can support snow. Right, onto the build. Firstly, you'll want to start by placing a sticky piston facing upwards, then come round to the side of it and place an observer facing out. But make sure that the arrow, once placed, is facing into the sticky piston. Now, place an observer facing to that. That should send the sticky piston going up and down. What you want to do next is place a lever on it and switch it on, keeping it in an upright position while we build around it. After that, place a crafter facing out from it. And what we'll want to do is then place the redstone dust feeding around into the crafter like so. This is the bottom layer done. Click these boxes, forming this upside down L. I mean, it doesn't need to be upside down, you can make any sort of L, as long as it feeds into all those corners. Now, time to build the snowball collection system. We'll want to start by jumping on top of this piston, crouching, and then placing the hopper. Make sure to crouch while making this U pattern of hoppers feeding into that first hopper we placed, like so. Once we've done that, we're going to create a lovely little line of cobblestone. Now it's time to make yet another U pattern. Place rails over the top of the hoppers, like so. Now, connect this gap with a powered rail. Not with the normal rail, like I did. Stupid. Sweet. Now, we can't place a lever here to power the rail. We'll have to place it somewhere else, as this stops the piston from going up and down. So, we're going to do that by firstly placing this O over the top of the rails. Then, we're going to come down from that, place blocks, like so, and then place a lever on the end of this one and activate it. As you can see, the rail is now powered. Next, we're going to create a cage for this system, as if a mob sees a snowman, it might come towards him and blow up the farm, which we don't really want. Also, make sure when building this to break every corner, as this will interfere with the minecart if you leave them in, and stop your farm from working. I'm going to leave this gap so we can start the minecart with Hopper, and now we're going to build the snowman. 2 snow blocks and a carved pumpkin on top. Now cover it up. I mean, this isn't necessary if you don't live in a rainy biome. However, you might as well do it. Now place a minecart with Hopper and set it going. Maybe watch it go around 2 or 3 times, just check that you're happy. Then activate it. If it seems to be fine, you can then cover up the hole. As we can see, it's spitting out snow blocks. Well, we'll want a system for that, so just place a double chest in front of it. And done. You have all the necessary requirements to make your Frost Legion. Now you're probably wondering, now that you've got everything set up, how do I summon my Frost Legion? Well, just grab your trusty pair of shears and then head over to the farm to gather the resources. I'm going to take a stack here, which will result in 32 individual snowmen, as for every 2 snow blocks there is 1 pumpkin. Start by placing the first line of snow, then jump and place the second, and now just to finish it all off, we're going to place the third, pumpkins. Now comes the fun part. Run along and shearing the pumpkins as you go, summoning into the world your Frost Legion. As you can see, they'll completely turn the landscape into a desolate Arctic wasteland. And thus concludes that redstone machine. Now, thank you for watching. You're probably about 1 in 10, judging from the YouTube algorithm statistics. And I'd just like to tell you, thank you for making this far. Please consider subscribing if you like more content like this, and leaving a like. Anyway, that's all from me. Goodbye.